Today on Retirement for Life podcast, I told you so. Elon Musk coming back on his initial prediction. I told you so. Why San Francisco hopefully can come back and be saved by the blue jeans Heir, and why the experts are wrong about where to invest in 2025. This and more on today's Retirement for Life podcast. Let's get started.
Retirement for Life, your passport to a comfortable and confident retirement. The podcast that's equal parts education and entertainment, where we break down the retirement maze with a dash of fun and a heap of wisdom from your host, Christian Sear CPA, the passionate retirement specialist and president of Sear Financial Wealth Advisors, the independent registered investment advisor specializing in the AIM retirement system.
So we're here today. I want to welcome back Emma to the show. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
Andrea, it's been a couple weeks,
Yep,
I think,
a
about
little
a
bit.
month.
Yep.
Welcome back. Today is going to be a great show. I just can't wait to get to it. First, I want to say we had a great podcast last month. A lot of people looking at our predictions for 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Emma and I sat here and we basically went back and forth. I'm the old guy. I'm nervous. She's the smart one. She's telling us what we know. We should really just be investing smartly. So we went back and forth about what 2025 is going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, she did definitely kick my butt. Can we see that, Brooke? And so people like you are going to say it's different this time, but I'm telling you that if nothing else, this is one thing I want to tell my retirees. Next year, or this year, 2025, you will see your account go up and down more. There's going to be more volatility.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to predict that. That's my number one prediction for 2025. You're going to see your accounts bounce up and down a lot. So if you're the type of person, so that's what I said. All right. Now, I like to tell people I was right. So yesterday the market closes, and look at this. By the way, if you are listening, thank you, but you need to be watching this show on rflshow.com because I put a lot of work into this. Brooke puts a lot of work into this. You guys don't put any work into this.
Way to show up.
But the graphics on this podcast really make it 10 times better.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening right now and you're not, I had one of your favorite customers, I'm not going to say his name. He wished me a happy birthday the other day, and he said, I'm watching the football game, and I am listening to your podcast.
Nice.
And I thought to myself, so-and-so, you should be watching the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not watching this, go to rflshow.com and watch the podcast because you'll see on the screen, yesterday the market closes, and what do we have?
I mean, look at that picture. It's like
roller
green,
coaster.
red, up and down all day.
This is just one day, but I'm just going to say I am right. And what we saw yesterday, up, down, up, down, up, down, is what we're going to see all year.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'm right. Let's move on to the next thing. Elon Musk, my new best friend, my new hero.
Mm-hmm.
We talked a lot about him. He and Vivek Ramaswamy, we've covered this a lot, are going to cut $2 trillion from the budget.
Yeah.
And I just show the first video, Brooke, about Elon Musk. This is what he said. This is just a great clip.
All right, I've only got one question for you, and then I'm getting out of here because this is your stage.
I love
But
this.
we set up Doge.
Yes.
How much do you think we can rip out of this wasted $6.5 trillion Harris Biden budget?
Well, I think we can do at least $2 trillion.
Yeah,
At least. Yeah. At least 2.
It's
Pretty
Yes.
bold.
$2 trillion.
At least.
Mm-hmm.
That means 2 or more.
Yes.
Okay, and Brooke, what have I said about this? Zeros. This is not only unsustainable, some would say outright negligent, and frankly, I might agree. Now, of course, our newly elected president has hired a hit squad to cut $2 trillion out of the budget. And I say more power to them. But sadly, this is literally not going to happen. It needs to be an act of Congress. In fact, 60% of them have to agree to cut expenses. Okay. I just don't see this amounting to too much. I am saying it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I want it to happen, but it's not going to happen.
Not likely.
So I read the headline the other day in the Wall Street Journal. Now Musk is stepping back.
Yep.
He's on a podcast, and here's what he says.
That you're really looking at that you think will be successful. Do you think $2 trillion is a realistic number now that you're looking more closely at it?
Yeah, well,
He's so uncomfortable.
I think we'll try for $2 trillion. I think that's like the best case outcome. But I do think that you kind of have to have some overage. I think if we try for $2 trillion, we've got a good shot at getting one. And kind of
So now it's only one.
Drop the budget deficit from
maybe.
All right. I'm not throwing shade on Elon Musk. Again, I'm a huge fan. I think the notion is great, and I support reducing the deficit because in 2025, I said it, my main body of work is really I'm concerned about the federal deficit.
Yeah.
All right, Andrea, I'm going to put you in the hot seat.
Okay.
You are the United States president. Here is a picture of what we as a country spent over the last 12 months. It's approaching $7 trillion. What we took in was not even $5 trillion. There's a $2 trillion budget deficit. You, the newly elected president, where on this list, again, you should watch this on rflshow.com because there it is right there.
Yeah.
Where do you take out $2 trillion?
You're not going to make any friends cutting on any of those. I mean, and in fact, Social Security is underfunded. So how do you take money away from it?
Emma, what would you do?
I mean, there's only so much discretionary spending you can cut. No matter what you do, you're making people mad.
Yeah. So it's a huge, huge problem we're not going to go into today. What the main point of this segment is that, once again, Brooke, I am right.
Oh, right.
I am right.
Yeah.
I was right. Andrea, say it.
You're right. And you know you like to hear you're right.
I would not have said that.
Okay. Good luck to all those people trying to correct
Yeah.
the federal deficit. Not an easy task.
No.
I want to tell you a story now about the town of San Francisco. And this has nothing to do with retirement, but to me, it's just absolutely fascinating. This is a great story. Starts out bad. We're going to go with a guess the numbers game to open up the story. Brooke, play the guess the numbers sequence.
Guess the number game.
All right, Andrea, we're going to have everyone at home participate here. I want everyone to, this is a number that they have to guess, hence the guess the number game.
Right.
Read what the question is, please.
In November 2014, California voters approved Proposition 47, the Safe Neighborhoods and Schools Act. It sounded good. The description brought to mind images of preventative crime measures and a more equitable vision for public safety. And big names called for its passage, from Attorney General Kamala Harris to San Francisco District Attorney George Gascon. Specifically, Proposition 47 reclassified the following offenses from felonies to misdemeanors if the dollar value was below what?
Okay, so if it's a certain dollar amount or less, no longer is it a felony. Now it's a misdemeanor. Emma, what do you think is a reasonable number? You know, I could see like if it's less than $100, it's no longer a felony.
It's like something that's not worth their time. I'm going to guess $250.
What do you think, Miss Brannon?
$500.
Brooke, what's the answer?
$950.
$950. Okay, so this is a higher number, right? What once was a felony is no longer a felony so long as it's under, let's just say $1,000, just to make it simple.
Right.
Wow.
Here's an example that probably isn't realistic, but have you ever seen Grand Theft Auto? It's a felony.
Yep.
Okay. If you steal a car in this country, generally, you're now a felon.
Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
Not in California. Now, granted, it's a crappy car.
Yeah, one that maybe won't run, but
But still, like, how could you steal a car that's worth $950 because it probably doesn't run? But it's other stuff. It's drugs. I wrote it down. It's stolen property. It's forgery. It's writing bad checks. It's breaking into stores and stealing stuff.
right. So you could basically write a check for $949 and you're good.
Nothing's going to happen. I mean, you're going to misdemeanor. But in San Francisco, here's where the story starts to get ugly. The state's attorney, that guy you mentioned earlier, George Gascon, he says, you know what? I'm going to go one step further. Not only is this now a misdemeanor, I'm not going to prosecute it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to even go after you. All right. So what starts happening is that shoplifters are now just going in and stealing stuff.
Yep.
And how does this happen? Like maybe the homeless or the people who are shoplifting, maybe they're really smart. What have I stolen?
Yeah.
Add it up. Get the calculator out.
Get the price tags out.
Like,
Just
sweetie,
walk out
can
the
you
door.
add up all the price tags and all the stuff we're about to steal and not going to go to jail for?
Yeah.
And the husband says to the wife, they're both shoplifting together, and he goes, sweetie, we still got another $100. And they
Grab a purse.
yeah, something. This is literally what's happening.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this is okay. All right.
Yeah.
So he stops prosecuting most misdemeanors. He starts lowering crimes from felonies to misdemeanors. Okay. No prison sentences. No surprise, crime goes up.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that this is happening. So now let's say you're a good citizen in the city of San Francisco and you see this happening. Do you pick up the phone and call the police?
No, because the police aren't going to even show up at this point.
Right. And the police are getting phone calls and they're not even showing up because they're like, nothing's going to happen to these people.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what happened. So now the ramifications. Guess the number game. Brooke, play it.
Guess the number game.
All right. Again, I want people at home to understand the gravity of the situation. Emma, read this and let's see if people at home can get this number right.
I want you to leave the answer in the comments. No cheating.
Okay.
In 2019, San Francisco's famed downtown Union Square areas had 203 retailers. As of May 2023, how many retailers have shut their doors?
Union Square, San Francisco. Have you guys ever been to San Francisco?
No.
Used to be beautiful. This is the place you'd go to shop. This is where all the retailers were. So there was how many? 203, does it say?
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2019?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fast forward like 3 or 4 years later, that number was what? What do you guys think? How many of those 200 some retailers shut the door? Brooke, what do you think?
100?
Okay.
I'm going to guess half. I wouldn't stay open if people were stealing.
I'll just say 50.
You know, what do we got?
Let's see.
Ooh, 96.
96. Basically half. You guys are right. Half of the retailers leave. Okay. Employers leaving the city. If there's no employers, what happens to the jobs?
Way down.
They go away.
Yeah, jobs go away.
What happens to the homeless situation?
Gets worse.
Goes up.
More homeless, right? There's now these tent encampments. Okay. Look at this. San Francisco's downtown exodus. Andrea, there's 22, I think, here. Is that 22?
Yeah.
Tell me the one that gives you the most heartache. Which one are you sad to see go?
I like anthropology. It's
What
number
is
11.
anthropology?
It's just, fun store.
Clothes?
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Emma, what are you sorry to see go here?
Crate and Barrel. I really like Crate and Barrel.
Now, Brooke, which one makes you cry?
I do love Crate and Barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is what's happening. Again, the story is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. It has a trickle-down effect, okay? Nobody is going to conventions anymore.
Right.
Nobody is doing tourism. Tourism is down 44% since
I
2019.
believe it.
Homeless epidemic ensues. We have public drug use. We now have a skyrocketing fentanyl problem and a state of emergency. The tent encampments, I'm not going to say what happens there, but
You can imagine.
a lot of bad stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to my buddy Elon Musk just because I love him so much. But he tells this story, and this one story alone, what took me 10 minutes to describe San Francisco, he does it in 1 minute. Play it.
One couple I met, the final straw for leaving San Francisco was they came home one night and there was a dead body in front of their garage. They couldn't get their car in, couldn't park their car.
Because the corpse.
And yeah, there's no street parking. They're like, because there's a corpse in front of the garage. And they don't want to move the corpse, because you're like, maybe they need to figure out why the guy died or something, They got no place to park their car and they feel that they shouldn't really move the dead body. So they called 911 and said, there's a dead body outside our house. And they said, well, 911 San Francisco says, well, are you in danger right now? It's like, well, no, he's dead.
He's not in danger.
Pretty sure he's dead. And they're like, okay, we'll send someone tomorrow to pick up the body. Like, what do you mean tomorrow? so they're like going into the house while there's a dead body right in front of their house. And like it took them 24 hours or something like that to eventually pick up the body. And they're like, the hell with this, we're leaving.
Oh my God.
And did they?
Yes.
They left.
I would.
Terrible.
I mean, so that, I think that was 60 seconds or less. That encapsulates the entire story.
Yeah, I would not stay.
So now there's financial issues in San Francisco. They have $1 billion deficit.
That's crazy. $1 billion for a city.
A city. It's not a state. It's not a country.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to put you guys on the spot again.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you think the budget is in San Francisco for taking care of the homeless problem, which they helped create? How much do you think they're spending?
That'd be a pretty big chunk of that $1 billion.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea. Over $1 million, I guess.
I would say $5 million.
The city's spending $700 million a year
Wow.
in expenditures on the homelessness.
Like I said, a large chunk of their deficit is the issue they created.
It's like,
It's insane.
this story began actually well before 2014 because there was already kind of a homeless issue in San Francisco, and this exacerbated it.
Wow.
So, wow.
Yeah.
That's what I have on my cue cards, Emma. Wow. And then one day, there's a guy who's lived in San Francisco most of his life. He has 2 daughters. He's putting them to bed at night, and one of the daughters says, why is this place so scary?
Yeah.
And he kind of scratches his head, and he says, as a father, how do I explain the city that we live in to my 2 daughters?
Mm-hmm.
It just so happens that this man is eventually one of the biggest heirs of the Levi Strauss, the blue jean heir. His mother is Mimi Haas, and she is worth approximately $1.4 billion, okay? So he's like, I think I'm going to run for mayor. And this guy right here, show him on the screen, Brooke, he just became the mayor this month.
Mm-hmm.
He put $9 million of his own money into the campaign. He won. And it's the first time in over 100 years. I mean, this guy has 0 government political experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first time in over 100 years they've elected a mayor with no government
Yeah,
experience.
because clearly it hasn't worked in the past. They need to try something new.
Right. And apparently people want something different.
His agenda is, and I wrote down, he is going to declare a fentanyl state of emergency.
Yeah.
He is reinvigorating the depleted police force. How do you do that, by the way?
I mean, it's hard to do that in general. I mean, it's not exactly like a job that pays well and really people are really thankful for you.
I certainly wouldn't want to be a cop in a city with
No.
10,000 homeless people.
No.
Right. I mean, right there, that's a challenge for him.
Yeah.
And then he's pissing off all of his city hall workers. He's making them work and come back to the office.
Yeah.
No more working from home. So what would you say to Daniel?
Good luck, Daniel.
Good luck, Daniel. This is a story that's interesting to me. Daniel Laurie, we wish him the best. The blue jeans heir trying to save the city of San Francisco.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of work to do. By the way, we just made a video, has 140,000 views on it. Brooke, how many comments did we have in that video on YouTube?
I think it was close to 400.
Okay. People are just saying all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me thinking, when we started this podcast, my dream was to have 15 people after every podcast go to this website, retirementforlife.com, scroll down to where it says in very big letters, please send me your questions.
Yeah.
And I just imagine Brooke and I going through like 15 voicemails every week and having trouble deciding which great question to answer on this podcast. Well, guess what? Nobody's going there. I even stopped talking about it, but you guys have good questions. You're watching this, you're listening to this. Please, all you have to do is click a button and talk into your phone. You don't have to dial anything. You just click a button. Brooke, is that right? What else do you have to do?
Nothing. Just click it.
Please ask me a question because I want to play your question. You can pretend your name is Jimmy if your name's not Jimmy. You can do whatever you want. Send me a question and we'll answer. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
All right. All right. We're going to finish up today by talking about something important. We did do that podcast last 2 weeks ago about predictions for 2025. What we came away about saying what we're going to do is stay the course. We heard from many experts. The average expert says 2025 market's going to go up. What do you remember?
10%.
Yeah. As of right now, it's slightly up. Okay, but it has been, as we said earlier, volatile.
Yep.
Definitely.
So the point is, we don't know what's going to happen, and we went through all these predictions of experts. And but the funny thing was, we had this game where I'm conservative, I'm older, I think we should be, saving our money and protecting our money, and Emma is the smarter one, and let's just play it. Probably right about. She's probably going to get a point for this, but go ahead.
So interest rates are going down. They may not be going down as quick as we thought, a year ago, but they're going down. The Fed is cutting rates slowly but surely. And what happens when you cut rates? I mean,
Everything goes up.
Companies can borrow at cheaper rates. They grow faster.
Okay.
And not only that, bonds are also
Okay.
very well aligned. So you can earn, over 5% on bonds right now. And with rates going down, bond prices are going up. So there's just too many good things that
You can see I'm upset that
interest
she's
rates
right.
going down helps us out quite a bit.
So in summary,
All right. So basically, Emma won, and the point of it was, let's be smart about this. Let's do what we know is the right thing to do, which is let's not try and guess. Because, and I'm going to go to the guess the number game one more time. Brooke, play the guess the number. Boom.
Guess the number game.
This is 20 years of data. These are people getting paid a lot of money, the so-called experts. These are the ones on Wall Street that are active managers. And we're gonna show you how trying to outguess the market doesn't work. First, what is an active asset manager? According to a recent study, the average American feels like they need nearly $1.5 million to retire comfortably. That's a 53% increase compared to the same study just 4 years ago. But is that the right number for you? And are you doing everything you can to maximize your financial situation? The AIM Retirement Assessment can help you figure that out. This free assessment is a simple 3-step process. Answer a few questions about yourself. Spend 15 minutes discussing your situation with one of our retirement specialists, and then we get to work. You'll receive a customized report detailing your exposure to the 7 biggest risks in retirement and the 3 most impactful action items you can take to supercharge your retirement. And if you already have a financial plan, this assessment will help you see what real retirement planning looks like. Get your AIM assessment today and see the difference between a financial generalist and a retirement specialist. Go to aimassessment.com today to get started. That's aimassessment.com.
It's just someone who's trying to make adjustments and try to do better than the market.
Yeah, outperform the market year after year.
Okay. And how many of them in the last 20 years, what percent have outperformed the market?
Very few. I'm going to guess maybe 15%.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
would say
think?
10% or less.
Brooke, show us.
Ooh, 3%.
3% of active managers over the last 20 years have beat the benchmark. And this is what we know. Now, I want to show you guys something. This is called the Barron's Roundtable. I'm an old guy. I've been reading Barron's for over 30 years, and they had the Roundtable. This is the height of experts giving their opinion. This is probably the most respected periodical in the entire finance/investing industry. I want to show you guys this. 1 year ago, the experts come to the roundtable and they say, hey, I'm super smart. This is what you should invest in 2024. Now, how much did the market go up in 2024?
25%.
Okay, 25%. This just absolutely proves my point. This is their pick. Show me their picture. I want to see their picture first. These people right here, I don't know who they are. They're smart people, okay? Smart enough to be on the best publication in the finance industry. What's their picks? Who's the first person?
Todd.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I'm not trying to pick on people here. So Todd makes 6 expert picks. How many of them beat the market?
He had a couple good ones, too.
I would say 1.5.
Yeah.
The next person picks 4 awesome stocks for 2024. How many of them beat the market?
They're all
None of them.
losers.
Yeah.
2 of them lost money.
Mm-hmm.
The next person, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He made 6 stock picks. Oh, that's a girl. She made 6 stock picks. How many of them beat the market?
0.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She had 6 expert picks, and 5 of them lost money when the stock market went up 25%. This is a storied person who is smart enough and wise enough to be on Barron's roundtable. Keep going. Keep going. This person made how many picks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
None of
Not
them.
one of them was even 10%. Next person. This person made 6 picks.
Oh, they had some good ones.
They had,
2.
I'll give them even
Couple,
3.
Yeah.
Okay, so far that's the best person.
Mm-hmm.
Henry got maybe 50% of his picks right and 50% of his picks wrong. These are the experts. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 picks. How many of them beat
Only
the market?
1. 2 are good. 1 beat it.
He had 1 for 8.
Yeah.
Next person. 4 picks.
1
Another one good one.
He's 1 for 5. One of his great picks lost 41%.
Say, so the one that did well didn't even offset the one that did.
Keep going, Brooke.
Ooh, okay. They had
1, 2,
Well, NVIDIA.
4, 5,
Couple
6,
good ones.
7,
Solid.
8, 9. This guy made 10 picks. Out of his 10 picks, how many beat the market?
2 really good ones.
He was 20% right.
Yeah.
This guy had 5 picks. He was
beat
1 for
that.
5, 20% right. This guy had 5 picks, 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I'll go
Okay,
with 2.
keep going. Now here's a
Two
smart
good ones.
person.
Oh, Merrill. Okay.
He only made 2 picks, and he was 2 for 2.
Yep.
2.
Do you see what I'm talking about here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it really interested me 2 days ago. It was actually the weekend when this story right here comes out on Wall Street Journal.
Mm-hmm.
It grabs my eye. What the experts, here's more experts,
Mm-hmm.
and they're telling you what to invest in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
There was 10 of them, and each one of them gave only like 1 or 2 picks, okay?
Mhm.
And again, it goes back to the concept of, let's talk about what we're doing. Retirement planning. Tell me some of the things that are in the AIM retirement system plan that have nothing to do with investments.
Well, just trying to make sure that we're maximizing the chance of retirement success.
Maximize chance of retirement success,
Income stability.
income stability, make sure your income's going to be there regardless of what happens to the stock
Tax
market.
planning,
Taxes, Social Security,
estate planning.
estate planning, all these things, they're like, just think of like bedrock. Have you ever seen like years, Brooke, years and years of bedrock? There's different layers, okay?
Mhm.
What you do is, once you have those things right in a retirement plan and it's stable, then you take the rest of the money that's still available and you layer it over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And it is your investments.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Your investments are a small part of your retirement. We don't know what's going to happen to the investments. We don't know what's going to happen to the investments this year. We don't know what's going to happen this month, but we have a very good idea of what's going to happen over the next 30 years.
Right.
So for this reason, we don't make huge adjustments because we've seen some clients get emotional, get scared, and their portfolio now is underperformed by $100,000 because they got out of the stock market a year ago.
Yeah.
So I'm fascinated when the Wall Street Journal puts out an article like this and says, hey, here's where the smart people say to put your money. Brooke, show us what they said. Remember, 10 people. Andrea, what have we got here? What's their opinions? Where should we put our money this year in 2025?
Top one is stocks in general, then large growth, Mag 7,
Mm-hmm.
value stocks, mid cap stocks, small caps, real estate and bonds.
Okay. A little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything, yeah.
Okay. So if you put these 10 experts together, what do you have there, Emma? What is that?
That looks very similar to our portfolio.
It's exactly the portfolio we have. It's a diversified portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, this is a point, again, that nobody knows what they're talking about. You can ask any expert you want to. Andrea, you've been doing this for 13 years now. Somebody comes into our office and they say, hey, guys, we got an extra $100,000. What's the smart thing to do with this money? What do you say?
I mean, I like to say just put it in your portfolio.
Put it in your
However,
portfolio.
they usually want a specific answer.
I've got an extra $100,000. It's sitting in my bank account. I want to put to work, but where's the smart place to put this right now? And they want like a smart answer.
Yeah, they don't want a diversified portfolio. They want something else.
But the smart answer is
Put it in your
just put it
portfolio.
in your normal investment account,
Leave
which
it be.
goes along with all the other layers of your plan, with your Social
Yes.
Security, with your Roth conversion, with your income stability, with your estate plan, all this stuff, and it just fits in perfectly. Your plan, if done right, shouldn't matter what happens to the stock market in 2025.
Yeah.
Shouldn't matter. So, okay, we've said enough. Brooke, if you had to guess, how long was this podcast today? Just give me a number.
28 minutes.
Oh, gosh. What do you guys think? This is a fun game. Guess the number.
I'll say 29 minutes.
What would you say?
30.
See, that's my weakness because I think we've been talking for like 10 minutes.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so repeat your number again.
28.
29.
30.
I'm going to say 25.
Okay.
We'll only know once Brooke edits the video. And don't edit it to be 28 minutes just so you can be right.
Well, I won't.
That's all for Retirement for Life today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the next episode. Guys, thanks a lot. It was a fun episode.
Yeah.
Take care.
Investment advisory services provided by Heir Financial Inc., SEC registered investment advisor. All content on this podcast is for information purposes only and should not be considered investment, legal, or tax advice. Material presented is believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations are made by our firm as to another party's informational accuracy or completeness.